Alright, I think I'm hearable this time. Alright, so, today I'll be ranking simply all of the bosses in FE6, based on their viability, how good of a unit they are, and all that jazz. It should be noted, I have, once again, not used all of these units. That's partially why I'm doing this as a live stream. Maybe somebody will be able to state their opinion, and if they have used the unit, or just in general, it would be, I think it's a lot funner to discuss the units with other people. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this as a live stream instead as well. I might edit this into a video. That depends. Yeah. So, let's start with the first unit on this tier list. So I'm not going over these guys, the ones not recruitable, because, well, pretty simple. They're not recruitable. The tier list will also be assuming you're doing it on hard mode, mostly because hard mode gives such insane hard mode bonuses that it makes a lot of these units much more viable. Since, you know, there's quite a few actual axe bosses and armor knights in this game, and they suffer from just being a really terrible class, since axes are, you know, inaccurate and such, and armor knights have really low movement, lance locked. They're just not the best in general. To be fair, most of the armor knights in FE6 also aren't any good, but yeah, let's start with the first unit on the tier list, Arcardo? I cannot remember. I think it's a card. I'm going to just Google his bases real quick. Yeah, that's his name. I have used him. He is good. He starts off, roughly chapter, I don't know. It doesn't say, because it's just saying the first chapter they actually appeared in. So because of that, it's a little finicky. Because, yeah, he appears in this chapter first, but, yeah. Overall, a card is, from what I have used, a card is a pretty solid unit. He shows up, like, if I had to compare him to another unit, I'd kind of compare him to Percival. He doesn't have as much speed as Percival, which, yeah, is a loss, but 16 speed is still pretty damn decent, and in exchange, he gets, like, much higher strength. I think he has, like, around the same defense. I don't remember. I think, yeah, he does start off with higher defense, but typically you end up able to give Percival a level 2. But either way, just ignoring the comparisons with Percival, he's still pretty damn good. The main reason he's B tier and not, like, A tier is because he does show up, like, fairly late. He shows up, like, at the very beginning of the Ilya/Sakai route. So that's why he's in B tier. Because he does have 8 move, though, so Paladin's, you know, good. Really good stats. Biggest issue is that his weapon ranks are a little weird. If you do, Ilya, which I assume you will be doing Ilya, because not too many people do Sakai route. In Ilya, he has A rank in axes, which isn't terrible, but as I said earlier, axes are not the best in this game, so you'd much prefer having the A rank in lances, because the silver lance is much better than the silver axe. It's still not horrible, though. Overall, I agree with I think he is very much a B tier unit. There's not much that really changes it. Forgot Bronya. Then we'll move on to Damas. Damas is an interesting case because base stat wise, he's not terrible. He's fine. Like, well, no, let me find his actual stats. He's got, like, really high strength. That's the most notable thing about him. He starts off with, like, 13 base strength, which is decently high when compared to, like, some of the other units you're using. That's, like, good for a Chapter 1 ally, but that's still not amazing. It's workable, but that's about all that he really has, is his base strength. Everything else is, like, eh. He pretty much is just one of your, like, one of the axe bros you get later on. And because of that, like, the very next chapter, I mean, because of that, he does have that issue of competition, and his hard mode bonuses just aren't good enough for how early he is, and being an axe unit. So because of that, the question is how much you, like, would, how much worth you would have into him being, like, around the whole game. Personally, I don't think it's very much, so I'm honestly going to put him in C tier. I think he could be viable just because Damas literally is in the first chapter, but with these base stats, 13 strength, as I said, is nice, but I don't think it's good enough when you're locked to axes. He might also promote into a berserker. I believe he might actually, and in that case, I think that might move him up to B tier because berserkers are just really good. I'm unsure though. The only reason I'm questioning it is because, like, there was a berserker, like, in the original FE6. He does have a palette, but specifically only for his promotion, and it's a berserker, despite being a fighter, which is weird. And I think Archer, the creator of FE6 boss recruitment, ended up making him into a berserker. So that potentially ups him to B tier. So I'm gonna put him in B tier, assuming he, like, promotes into a berserker, because the crit chance is very good, water walking, and, like, he's just around for so long that I think that it overall makes him decent. But yeah, if he doesn't, then yeah, I will. He's pretty bad. Tobias. Okay, let me just Google Tobias's stats real quick. Sorry, let me get the other one just in case. "14 base strength, it's fine. Like, this is a boss for, chapter 7. It's not amazing. I mean, that's still good, but he's an armor knight, so it's a little, 6 speed. It could be worse. Like, you could always have worse speed. So because of that, I'm not going to hold it 2 against him. I mean, that's still terrible. It's still not good, but he can insta-promote, so that is an advantage. He starts off with 14 defense, which is good. Let me actually check what Barth's defense is. Like, how much defense does Barth have when compared to him? You get him like a chapter. He has the exact same defense. You know, when looking at it, he even has, like, pretty similar stats. The only real thing going for Tobias is the extra points in his strength, being able to insta-promote. So yeah, I'm not going to put him in D tier, because he does give you a spear. Tobias does give you a spear, at least, which, I don't think the spear is very good in FE6, but it's something at least. Minus that, Tobias really isn't that good. His best advantage is the fact he can just insta-promote, I believe, because doesn't he come with a Knight's Crest? He might not. I don't remember. I think, yeah, you get the Knight's Crest the very next chapter. So yeah, you don't have the Knight's Crest. So yeah, he's like, I don't want to put him in D tier, so I'm going to leave him in C. Dory. Dory is interesting. Pretty interesting. So yeah, Dory. He certainly has one really good stat. This is a chapter 5 boss, and he arguably has better stats than the chapter 7 boss. Well, no, I'd say definitely. 19 strength is huge. He starts off with a killer axe. That is a really good combination. His skill is and as I said earlier, axes don't have the best hit rate, but I imagine he's still going to be fine later on in the game, simply because of having such a good base strength that when he ends up promoting into a berserker, he's going to be kind of similar to Gonzalez in the way that, yeah, he might not always hit, but if he crits, they're pretty much just dead. And he's going to probably have a decent crit rate. 4 luck isn't the best, but, I mean, 10 speed is a decent amount of speed when you compare it to, like, a couple of the other units you get in this point in the game, I believe. Let me, like, just look real quick at, like, weight and such. Like, just compare axe units. Yeah, like, that's double Wade speed. You do get Wade, like, in Chapter 2, but I mean, So, he's a lot more usable than the other axe units, but he does still have the weakness of having not the highest and greatest hit rates. The killer axe does solve it for a while, but it's not infinite use, so that should be taken into consideration. I still think he's like a... If I'm going to rank him, I'm going to put him like in a B or A tier. I'm going to go with A tier because you get him so early on, and I imagine he can help with quite a bit with some of the bosses if you're not able to deal with them in a reliable way. So, and just units in general, he can do very good damage, so yeah, that's why I'm going to put him in A tier. Iron. Iron is, he's, pretty strong. I don't think I need to explain how strong and why he's strong. Let me just, oh wow, he's only got 7 strength, 1 skill, 3 speed, 7 luck, 3 defense, 5 res, 5 con, 5 move. How terrible! He's terrible. How could? Oh, sorry, I didn't use the hard mode bonuses. That actually does make him better because, admittedly, one of his weaknesses is that later on in the game, he does really fall off because they made his growth rates terrible. They did my man dirty. They did Iron so dirty. But either way, he's still really, really good for a while because of the Firestone. Like, what? Is it not going to show the stats? Is it like, it's one of the other ones. Doesn't it have the same... I think it has the same base stats as some... Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. Oof. But yeah. 15 might. That's pretty decent. Plus 10 strength. He starts off with 21 strength. And also, the Firestone's infinite use, so you're never going to run out of that, which makes it really useful. And comes in later, which is partially why I still believe he's A tier, despite falling off. And I'll explain why in a bit. But 10 skill, he does have a, as I said earlier, he does fall off hard, and partially the reason is because, well, one, he can't actually hit too well later. He has like 60s, which isn't the best. And yeah, another issue is the 20 plus 20 defense is good, but he gets doubled by everything because he only has 5 speed. In like chapter 12, yeah, he does end up getting doubled by everything. But in the early game, it doesn't matter too much when you hit like a truck dealing like, when you have 21 strength and a 15 might weapon that's infinite use. And like 23 defense, so it doesn't even do much damage to him until later, as I said, when he starts getting doubled and the enemies start getting higher and higher might. He also gets plus 5 res, which is nice. Whoopee. We all love 11 res. That sure is useful. But anyways, one of and I'm not sure of whether this should be given to him, but the Archer, the creator of FE6 boss recruitment, allowed Faye to use the Firestone, which is really strong because Faye actually has decent growths. They're not bad, and she has the Divine Stone. Ian can also use the Divine Stone, but it doesn't save him from. It doesn't make him any better just because he can use it. He's still fine. You can still use him in the later game. He just ends up dying super easy, and he's also pretty good at training units because he typically also doesn't actually kill them in the early game. He'll almost kill them. They'll have 1 or 2 HP left, and they'll typically do when you first get him either 0 damage or 1. Technically 2 because he gets doubled. So whoopee, 2 damage out of his 41 HP. But oh yeah, he also, one of the things when I did use him, I did actually get him killed the next chapter because I thought, oh, it's look at this. Look at this. How could he die to a bunch of bandits in a desert? Yeah. He got really screwed over by all those bandits who did do 1 damage, and then also the Berserker bosses who did not insane damage, but they have really high strength. Rose and Maggie, I believe are their names, have insane strength. So yeah, Iron is still very solid though, and extremely good if you do consider the fact that Faye can use the Divine Stone. Faye can use the Firestone, and it has infinite uses. I'm not going to put him in S tier because you still have to train Faye up, and, well, Faye isn't the easiest to train. But yeah, we'll move on to the next character, and that's Eric. Eric. Pretty much, you don't want Alan or Lance have failed? Well, you always have Eric. And he's a very, very good option because he's got pretty solid bases. Let me find them exactly. Pretty good. 12 strength, 12 skill, 12 speed, 5 luck, 10 defense, 3 res. They're all very balanced. But he can, doubling wise, he won't double, all of the units when he first arrives. There's, a decent, there's, some of the faster ones he won't, and eventually later game, he may have a little issue, because I remember seeing his, speed growth was, 30. But that's the only huge issue he'll end up facing. I think his defense growth might have also been 30. His growths were also, all extremely balanced, and were, in the 30s. So, growth-wise, he had, 45 strength, which is nice. It means he'll decently, almost reliably get strength, pretty much, most of the time. So, he'll get stronger, and also, that's just his stats. He ends up being a paladin, which paladins is a very good class. 8 movement, weapon triangle, swords and lances and axes. Can promote instantly in this case because he starts off at level 10. Because of this, he's a very good unit. I'm putting him in A tier. I'd say he's Alan or Lance level. He can get screwed, but it's a lot harder because he just has better bases. But overall, he's still, I don't know whether... he's probably better than Alan or Lance, just because, yeah, you don't have to... You're not... There's less of a chance of getting unlucky. I'm pretty sure this guy's name's Flare. I believe it is. Okay. Very good. Really, only issue is, once again, a little bit of speed. you get him the same chapter as Milady, and the main difference between him and Milady is he is much more strength oriented, and I believe he does have like a little bit more defense, but it's not like an insane amount, especially because when you level her up, she eventually does catch up, and when you promote her, I believe she's like has around the same defense at that point. Yeah, she has like 16 defense. So yeah, you just give her like you just promote her and instantly I believe she has like yeah, the same defense. So it's not a huge gain, but it's still like all very very good stats, and he's like a Wyvern Lord, so not only that, but a very good class, having 8 movement, being able to fly. His only weakness is like he shows up like a little like during the mid game, but that's not really that big of a weakness. So I'd say he's like slightly worse than Milady just because he gives up the speed for even more strength, which I don't think it wait. Yeah, he ends up giving up like slightly speed because Milady has much higher of a chance of leveling up speed and then also gains +2 in speed on promotion. So yeah, Milady generally ends up being faster and growth-wise ends up being better than Flare. But for the like very beginning of like the mid game, he's still good, and for like the late game, he remains extremely strong. His only real weakness is only having 14 speed. I don't think his speed growth was like horrible, but it wasn't amazing either. It was like something like 25%, which, well, not amazing. I think it can work in getting him through the game. He can get like enough speed level ups to where he won't get doubled by everything, and he can still do extremely solid damage with 22 strength, and he can take like quite a few hits with his defense and defense growth. So yeah, I think I'm either gonna put him in like the top of B tier or A tier. I think I'm gonna keep him in A tier. I think that fits. He's probably better than these guys, actually. I'm unsure about Dory because he's there for the whole game. Well, not the whole game. He's there for like Chapter 5. He's got really good might. He starts off with a really good weapon. Flare starts off with a spear, which is cool. You can sell it or keep it. It has good might. I'm not sure about skill-wise. Might not be the best then. Okay, on to the next unit. Scott. He's a berserker. And, well, berserkers are pretty good. You want crit rate? You want high might? Oh, wait, never mind. Scott actually doesn't have that high strength. I forgot. Scott's the kind of bad berserker. He has less strength. Like, actually, let me just compare him and Dory real quick. I think he does have more speed, but it's not like an insane amount. So Dory starts off with a whole 19 strength. This like chapter 9 boss, who's when is Dory? Chapter 5. He has 4 more strength then. Not that much less skill. Only 3 less speed. Not that much less luck. Not 8 defense, which is a little bit of a gap. And yeah, 2 res, 3 res. Ooh. Yeah, overall, I think Dory is better, but Scott is still good. Like, I'm still gonna put him in B tier because Berserker is just a really good class, and he does show up pretty early. I'd say Chapter 9 is still, like, kind of the early game. Like, you're right on the... I'd say you're kind of nearing the mid-game. Like, a couple more chapters, and yeah, he'd be mid-game. He's fine. It really would be preferred if he had, like, a little bit more strength, but, well, I can't really judge him too hard. These are still pretty good stats for FE6 characters. Like, for characters you're getting at this point, this is still good. Just when compared to some of the other bosses you could recruit, using your recruitment on him is a little, you could use it on a better unit overall. And he does come with a killer axe, which is always nice. The bonus crit makes him more likely to score a crit, and and killer weapons are much more accurate than like some of the others. So he's still fine. Henning is he's A tier. He's got pretty good stats for when you get him. I believe it's a chapter or two before. He has really good speed, and normally you don't actually deal with his speed as much because he only has 10 con and he wields a steel blade, so he ends up getting weighed down by like 4 or 3. So normally his speed isn't this insane. It's still good because he already has all that avoid. But it's not like, insane like it is when you have him. 17 speed in like chapter 8 is really good. It's pretty damn good. He doubles like most units. I honestly did still keep using the steel blade for a bit though, because 12 strength is his only real issue. Like some of your other units will have like around that amount of strength, and during the late game that 12 strength really does bite him because he doesn't have a good strength growth. He has a decent speed growth, so he'll keep doubling, but the strength growth is so because of that I'm leaning on putting him into B tier. He's really good for when you get him though. He helps a lot in the chapters after, so that's why I'm thinking of keeping him in A tier. But overall, late game performance, not amazing. There also just ends up being a hero who is just straight up better than him and has the exact same portrait, like stat wise, way better. I think even growth wise, he arguably has better growths than Henning, so it's a little sad, but he's like still very good, should not be discounted. Still a very easily recruitable unit. Kel. You ever just wanted a unit that was better than Corel? Well, there you go. He's just better Corel. You get him, well, not a whole lot earlier. You get him like at the end of Sakai Route, basically, the chapter before Sakai Route ends, and he has insane stats, really good stats. Gel. 17 strength. Still really good for a Swordmaster. This is pretty late, but it's still very good. 23 skill. Not missing. 20 strength. That certainly is an improvement. 3 more strength. That's much more damage, and he doubles everything. 27 speed is like the max amount of speed, basically. Only 3 more levels, and his growth rates aren't terrible either. Like, he's going to cap speed. So, and it's not terribly hard to feed him XP because of just how strong he is. His only weakness is, having 13 defense. But he has such huge avoid, and even with only 13 defense, he has 50 HP. He can tank hits. Tanking isn't that hard of an issue for Kel. So overall, on one hand, he makes the late game a lot easier, and he makes the Murdoch chapter decently, like, less challenging, not like by a huge amount, because he's still not that busted. He's really good. He's got better, like, bases than Corel, I think. Like, when comparing the two, let's just see. Is this FE6? Okay, yeah, nope, that's not FE6. This is FE6. Yeah, he has the exact same strength, 1 less skill, a lot less speed. I'm not sure if he actually is able to even cap speed. He could. I think he... No, he definitely can't. Never mind. I thought he was like level 18 or something. Yeah, no, he couldn't cap speed. 14 luck, 18 luck. He does have more luck. 13 defense, 15 defense. Corel having more defense isn't really that big of a boon for him. Because, well, not only does Kel just show up earlier, he still has 50 HP. That's so much HP. So because of that, I'm going to put him like still in B tier because all of these units are helpful for a much longer period of time, and because of that, I think end up being overall better. And also, you have to do Sakai route. Because of that, he ends up getting into C tier because nobody wants to do Sakai route. Yeah. Legance. He's got alright bases. He's the first promoted unit in the game. He certainly is a general. He's got 16 defense. Whoopee. He's a lot better. I'd argue you should probably recruit him over Tobias, but he's definitely still not amazing. He's got 10 speed, which is better than Tobias, I think. 16 defense is good with 41 HP as well. He is able to tank for a bit. He does get doubled decently. Like some of the slower units aren't gonna double him. And skill is not incredibly low, but I'd prefer it to be slightly higher. Stat-wise, he's still fine. He's not terrible. I think he's better than all of the other Armor Knights you get, just because he's more usable instantly than the other ones. Inventory-wise, not good at all. A Steel Lance? Oh, wow, that sure will help his accuracy. I mean, yeah, it's good for his might, but... Is this Windhelm? Is this Windhelm or Oro? Or is this the third one? Sorry, Windham. No, that's not Windham. FE6 Oro. It's Oro. It's the third one. Well, that makes this easy. Which one? Why did they have to reuse the same portrait 3 times? Martel. It's the one I forgot. Well, that's sad. Anyways, 23 base strength. And, like, I think he comes with, like, A rank in light magic. I don't remember his staff rank. He shows up in Ilya Route, Chapter 18. 14 speed. It's fine. It'll allow him to not get doubled by some of the, slower units. And if you are able to get to him fast enough, you can get some of his Purge Tome. I imagine you're not going to get all of the uses of Purge, but still, like, nice to have some uses, I guess. 50 HP, 13 res. Him not having an insane amount of defense isn't an issue because, as when said earlier with Kel, 50 HP is a lot of HP. So because of that, he doesn't have an issue with tanking, and he can do a lot of damage with just 23 base magic. Also, he has really high res. So, I don't know how helpful that will be, but, you have a unit who can tank magic. You're also going to get one in, like, 2 more chapters who can as well. Oro is honestly, if you're one a funny tanking mage, Oro ends up being better for, a reason I'm going to discuss later. But I think he's still fine. He's not terrible at all. It's just not a whole lot to say about him. Really high magic, so enemies I don't believe in FE6 have that much res, so they're not going to be able to take it, but he's not really able to double too reliably. He still doesn't have that good defense. 50 HP is once again nice, but part of the reason Kel was so good was because he also has really good avoid. Martel doesn't really have that as much. Still solid. I'd put him higher if I knew his like staff rank, because potentially that could like influence it, but FE6 doesn't like. The only way I can figure out the staff rank is by actually like going back and playing it, and I don't remember. I think he does just start off with the generic bishop like staff, because he doesn't actually have a staff on him. If like he had like a physic staff, then that would increase his staff rank, because he need the rank in order to use it. But he still has purge, so that does mean he has A rank in light, so we can use all of light. On to the next character, Monkey. The Monkey Boy. I don't remember this guy's stats at all. They're really good. I mean, when considering the fact that he has 24 speed and really good weapon equipment, a brave bow and a brave sword. That's really good. Honestly, just for the decent inventory, he's at least C tier. At least. Not even going over the fact he's a free unit. He's a free brave bow, a free brave sword, and a free elixir. Stat-wise, though, he's really good. He is a good, like, I don't know how much does the brave bow weigh. This just depends on how viable he is. Cause like he can potentially like, what's the word? Okay, well, he probably isn't like quadding. Is that it? Yeah, he probably isn't hitting the enemy 4 times. And even if he was, even though he's not, he still has. Well, I mean, he could, because 12 weight, Acon. That's 20 speed. He'll still double a good amount of units. So him with the brave bow is very strong, especially with that 18 might, which is pretty decent. It's not amazing. It's not like the levels of like the early game where like, oh god, this Dory guy has 19 base strength in chapter 5. Whoa, whoopee. Still pretty good. I think I'm gonna put him low B tier. He might be better than Martel. Martel does have the fact that magic hits res. Enemies don't got the high res stat, but he doesn't really have that good speed. Like Monkey has both. He has speed, strength. The fact he's on a horse. I'm gonna keep him there. Morgan. He's C tier. It's taking me a bit to remember anything about Morgan. I know who he is. There's Morgan. He's fine. He's definitely, probably, sadly, the best general. If you, like, early-ish general. The only, like, one who's better is this guy. That's it. And that's mostly just because you get him, like, still decently early. He's got 19 defense and 18 strength. His growths are pretty decent. So because of it all, his biggest issue is also the fact that he has a silver axe. Meaning he has A rank axes. and probably like C rank lances due to the Horse Slayer, I think, being the highest. So because of that, Morgan's still a C tier. He's probably the best of all of the generals or armor knights, because also you do get him earlier. So this dude, while he does have really good stats, you don't get him as early. Narcian, I don't know whether he's actually better or worse than Flare. On one hand, you get him very early. Like, you get Flare like 4 chapters earlier, and I think he does have uses in those 4 chapters. But Narcian just has kind of better stats. I don't know how much, though. Because, Flare has really high strength for, like, being a Wyvern Lord. Like, when you compare it to, like, Milady, like, 22 base strength and, like, decent stats all around. Yeah, he has 2 less... He ends up having more speed, probably around, like, Milady's level of speed, and a whole lot more defense. Jesus, that's 22 defense! With this decent speed? I don't think his growths are good at all. They're kind of terrible. But still, like, that's amazing. That is really good stats. Okay, I'm kind of wrong. He's, like... If I remember, his growths are terrible. It's like late game. He's like not the best, but it's like, who cares when you're this good for most of it? For most when you're around. Like, I'd say he's probably Milady levels. The reason why, like, which is pretty good for most characters in this tier list, they're kind of just like, okay, they're really good. They're like, these guys are pretty good. Everyone below is just like, yeah, they're good. Not amazing. Everyone is either amazing or just kind of I'm actually going to move like Damas and Scott later. I think, well, I'm going to put Damas here because, as I said, he's the first. No, I think he's honestly, yeah. Now I think about it, he's about the same as, like, he is literally the same as probably those fighters you get in the next chapter. Stat-wise, growth-wise, so yeah. Scott's a little, like... Scott's still fine because alright bases and Berserker and all that, but, Nord. Oh yeah, I forgot to also mention, if you recruit Narcian, he's also the only way you can get the Rune Sword. Which is cool. Everyone likes the Rune Sword. Oh yeah, that is also another issue. He starts off with kinda low lance rank. I think it's a rank. I believe it's enough to still use javelins and such, which, actually, javelins don't really matter a whole lot in FE6. It's not really a enemy-phased game, so... He'd like to use, like, a killer lance, and I don't think he can. I think Flare can. So... that might actually still keep the competition going, depending on how much you consider that. I still think he's better than Flare, but yeah, it's more of a competition than it just seems with stats and chapter. But yeah, I mean, he does have the Rune Sword, which cool. He got A rank and he can still use killer edges, which nice. Onto, I believe this is Nord. I'm going to guess this is Nord. Dark Magic is surprisingly not that good in FE6. It suffers somehow the same issues as Axes. It's not a huge issue though. Like, it's definitely better than Axe rank. He's still, like, I believe it has 70 hit versus 60 hit. And for Nord, it's not a huge issue because he does actually have decent skill. So he's still B tier. And stat-wise, let me actually remember. Like, he shreds most early game units because he uses magic, so... And he has decent, like, magic, base magic. Yeah, more than decent. 18 base magic. 10 speed, and he has a good speed in magic growth, so he will end up doubling. The only issue is defense. He's a little fragile, but that can actually be a little solved because Nosferatu, he can use Nosferatu without it weighing him down, and also it has the exact same hit as Flux, which I think does a little say something about dark magic's hit rate. It's not insanely bad, but that it is a little noticeable. Like, he was having like 70 hit rates in like the later half, like just mid and later half, which isn't horrible, but it's really not preferred. I just don't trust 70 hit rates. They end up missing a lot. So he's still really good though. I honestly probably A tier now I think about it, because you get another staff user, magic still hits magic, can double reliably with everything. He can use Nosferatu to tank a little bit easier, and the HP 35 HP is, I think, enough to tank with Nosferatu and like 9 defense ish. 13 res is also nice. It's not that nice, honestly, but it's something. Oats. The main reason I'm actually giving him S tier. I'm not giving him S. I don't know. He is really good. Just like, okay, just stat wise, he's probably like still an A tier. But the main reason Oats is so good is because he comes with A rank staves so early. You get him the chapter after you get Warp. Because of that, I think Oats is insane. Like, normally, like, okay, like, Namie is, like, typically, like, in B tier just because of having such good stats and, like, good staff rank for when you get her. Oats you get so much earlier and is able to use Warp right off the bat. Because of that, Oats is, like, probably... I consider him the best unit in the game. Like, let's just look at his stats real quick. Just, like, okay, just ignoring his staff rank, he's still A tier. 22 magic. Really good. Can hit extremely hard. 18 speed. You think, oh, he probably doesn't have that high speed because, you know, bolting, for some reason, bolting mages always have, like, 11 speed, despite it also weighing them down, so they don't really need to have really low speed. He has 18 speed. It does weigh him down like quite a bit. Bolting does, but still, because he has 7 con, it weighs him down by like 13. So, but that's really good speed considering the fact he has like 22 base magic, and you get him in like chapter 14, which is really good. 9 luck. Only issue is defense, but once again, it ends up being kind of solved by just having such high HP. He can still tank hits. You definitely don't want him to tank that many hits, just because he can use the Warp Staff right after you get him. And just any staff. Physic, Silence, anything. He also, a thing I haven't mentioned is the fact that all of the Gaiden chapters start off with S rank in the weapon that you get in the Gaiden chapters. So like Henning instantly has S rank in Durandal. It's not really that amazing, mostly because you kind of want to conserve the legendary weapon uses unless you just don't care about getting the true ending. If you don't care about getting the true ending, it's a nice niche use. It can be used for boss killing. Oats, it's like cool because magic hits really hard, so he can kill a lot of units very, very easily with... God, what is it called? I can't remember the name of the tome. The legendary tome. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean. Overall, also, yeah, 17 res. He can fight mage as well. That moves him up to S tier. Oro. If just having 17 res makes you an S tier, then you having capped res for like a very early game boss. Who do you think is objectively the best recruitable boss? That depends by what you mean objectively. I think Oats objectively is. Iron is a little weird. If you use Iron's weird because as a unit he's very strong because of the Firestone. He does fall off super hard later though, but the reason he's so high, without it he's probably still B tier, high B tier, low A tier. But the reason is because Faye can use the Dragonstone. Oh, the most useful as a whole? Yeah. Okay, then I assume that does not count Iron, because that's not... I'd still consider Oats the most useful as a whole, because Magic can hit really hard, really good at attacking. He shows up, not insanely late. It's Chapter 14, that's very mid-game. Can instantly use staves. You don't have to train somebody. Because of that, I think Oats is definitely, one of the best, if not the best. For another unit, as a whole, Eric is... now that I think about it, Eric is pretty damn good just for being a cavalry, having pretty good weapon ranks, stats, growths, insta-promote. So he is pretty damn good. He's kind of just better Alan or Lance. If you're Alan or Lance, get blessed, then okay, use them. Flare and Narcian, Flare has the availability in the weapon rank since he can use killer lances, while Narcian can use killer edges, which I just prefer killer lances because more might. So, Narcian and Flare, I think, are about relatively the same stat-ish wise. Narcian does have better stats, but as a whole, I'm gonna put these two units as about the same. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, who? Oh yeah, Oro is next. Quite the funny man. Stat-wise, he's solid. I'd consider him a B tier. But one of the funniest things about Oro is just the fact he comes with a grand old 21 res in Chapter 11. A. That's how much res does Yoder have? And he has a good res growth as well. 30 res. Oro will cap res, which means you ever run into a magical unit, you've met the wall. You can't beat Oro. Stat-wise, he's also really solid. 18 strength, he'll magic hit res, funny magic hit res, funny number. Staff rank, I think it's still C tier, because he doesn't have a staff. Which on one hand, whoopee, he doesn't have a staff. That means he can't physic people. That would make that chapter 10 times more annoying. But on the other hand, that makes him if he had B staff or something, A staff means he can use warp, so that also brings his viability. That would also bring his viability up. I think he's better than a lot of these units just because you get him early on, but he's not amazing either. 12 speed, it's fine. 10 defense, 38 HP. He can tank just because of the 38 HP-ish. Not really. He's fine. Not a whole lot to say about Oro. The most notable thing about Oro is the 21 res. Anyways, Perith. You get him if you're not doing the true ending, you get him the second to last chapter in the game. He's got good bases, yeah, but that can't save you from being not useful at all while all of these other characters, at the very least, if they're not useful, they're at least they can at least do something. Perith, he doesn't have S. He doesn't. I think he does have A rank staff. I am pretty sure all of the Gaiden bosses have A rank in anything else other than the legendary weapons. So because of that, he can use warp and stabs, I guess. So that's cool. 28 strength. He hits very hard. I guess this is the most you could want out of a unit you get, like, for the second to last chapter. For the rest of the game, I feel like the other Dark Mages end up being better than him. So I'll move him up if you're using him, like, the rest of the game. I think he's, like, top of C tier. But overall, it's just, You could have used your Gaiden slot, like on Oates, Henning, I don't think Monkey, on the, Windhelm? Yeah, on the other priest, the third one. Definitely not Tick. Tick, wherever Tick is, yeah, he's better option than Tick. Alright, so, also, I think he does actually get way down, so he has even less speed. Even defense-wise, 16 defense is definitely better than a lot of them. But 42 HP is a little, yeah. He's fine. I don't have a lot to say about him. Roach? Is that his name? Is he the cockroach? Is the roach finally here? Is the legendary roach? No, that's not Roach. All I can think of is Project Ember. Wrath! Is that his name? Wraith! Wraith! Rafe! It's my dude, Rafe! Alright, he's a paladin. There's not more to say. I wonder what his con is. We'll never know. Probably decent. Fine. He's a paladin, but with 10 speed. When do you get him? Like, maybe he can have some use. 15, he, like, if he was an armor knight, he'd be, like, a lot lower. But he's not. He's a paladin, so because of that, he has 8 movement, staff. He does have A rank lances, so he can't instantly use the killer axe. He's got sword and axe rank, which is cool. 48 HP, 14 defense. He can tank a good amount of hits. 19 strength. He hits decently hard. There's, like, honestly quite a few early game units when compared to that can also do that exact same feat. He is a paladin, though. He does have the movement. I'm going to say he's the definition of a mid-tier. He certainly is here. Anyways, Randy. Better Henning, but you get him later. How later, though? Like, how much? This really does decide both Henning and Randy's fate. Either Henning is, like, instantly, like, moved down, because, well, actually, you can argue how much that moves him down, because he doesn't use up a slot. Like, he doesn't use up... I'd argue he kind of does. Henning is... because you end up... I don't know. It's complicated, because he ends up being a lot better for those earlier chapters, and you can argue Randy isn't as... Ah, damn it. The mouse. The mouse is stuck. Okay. Because, yeah, 12 strength versus 18 strength, and also, 14, 8. Okay, so yeah, Henning is still an A tier. I don't think it knocks him down enough. And, like, also, if you don't recruit Randy, it's like, you know, Randy being better, I don't think it matters that much that Randy is just straight up better. Minus join time, which I do think the join time even still makes Henning a little better, just barely. Because yeah, stat wise, straight up just better. 19 speed versus 17 speed. Okay, one more defense. I think Henning probably is going to level up defense enough. But yeah, he hits hard, can be used pretty much the rest of the game. Oh yeah, this guy. Everyone knows who this guy is. Everyone loves this guy. If you know this guy, I'm actually impressed. Like, that is a feat. That is an actual feat to know who this guy is. Because I sure as hell didn't. No, I don't think most people ever fight this guy. The only way he appears is the Oro chapter, specifically the Oro chapter. He doesn't appear in the B route. Only the A route. And only after, like, a certain amount of time. I don't know how long. It's, like, some amount of turns. I think it's, like, something ridiculous, like 20 turns. He will show up. Yeah, he doesn't have a battle or death quote. He will show up. And, like, stat-wise, honestly, not that bad. Growth-wise, though, he has 10 in everything. Except strength. He has 50 in strength. That's it. So, 51 HP, though. That is, like, okay, actually, when comparing to every other boss, that isn't that huge. But still, that's good. That's good. 15 skill, 14 speed's pretty good. 13 defense, pretty decent. He's decent. Like, actually, realistically, he's probably... Once more, he's a paladin. He is a paladin. So yeah, I think I'm not certain. I've never used him because I don't want to wait the turns to recruit some dude who I could easily accidentally kill thinking he was one of the random generic paladins. So yeah, he's probably good just because of these bases. He probably falls off. Probably. Who knows, though? He could never fall off. You could somehow get, like, 10% each time with Roberts, the most memorable character in FE6. Alright, now I gotta figure out what's this guy's name. I think it's Rorts. Rorts, I believe. Yes, I was correct. I mean, he could be. He does have a portrait similar. I think that is in his trivia. I think that is literally his trivia. No. Roberts bears a striking resemblance to an earlier boss, Eric. What an amazing trivia fact. Truly. I mean, yeah, they do kinda have a similar face. They do, but why is this in the trivia thing? And I mean, okay, but alright. Rorts, the man, the myth, the legend, the probably only, like, yeah, it's his uncle. That he wanted revenge. He was like, it took him 10 chapters, but he finally came. Took him a whole 10 whole chapters, but he's finally here to revenge his nephew. Anyway, probably Rorts is probably the only actual decent general out of, like, to actually recruit at the time. Like, out of, I mean, I don't know how to phrase it. Like, Legance works fine. Rorts you can probably use for the rest of the game. I imagine, because 25 strength, that's a lot of strength, 23 defense, and 60 HP. I imagine he can tank most things, besides magic, of course. But you're probably not gonna have that big of an issue with magic. He's still not that good though, because he shows up at the very, very end of Sakai/Ilya route. So I'm honestly not sure whether he's better than these guys. Like, would you, like, the argument is pretty much Wirtz's growths are probably garbage, but he's definitely better than Douglas. Who's Douglas? How dare you insult my boy Douglas? We all love Douglas. He probably is better than Douglas, though. Yeah, now that I think about it. And Douglas is, like, typically C tier, so I think it kinda does fit. Rude. We finally got into some more of the early gamers. Probably decently bad. It's an early game armor knight. You get him chapter 2. The best thing about him is that he's a very rude man. Ugh. I thought the hardman bonuses were really gonna save him. They really haven't. That's a little sad. If I remember correctly, Slater also has arguably better growths, and he takes up the same recruitment slot as him. So, is he worse than Tobias? Tobias can insta-promote. Rude can't. I'm sorry, Rude. You're not rude enough. You are rude. You're an atrocity to my eyes. Why aren't you better, Rude? You have such a good portrait. Anyways, alright, now I have to figure out, this isn't Scott. Wait, where's the two berserkers? Where's Rose and Maggie? Well, guess they're not here. Oh, this is the Gaiden one. Now I just have to figure out how to spell his name. Or just not. Whew, dodged a bullet here. I don't have to spell this guy's name. Or remember it. Where is it? Geloro. Geloro? Gelira. He's fine. Yes, the Berserker couple can be recruited in FE6. Boss recruitment. They're really strong strength-wise. Like, I believe one of them is anyway, and like I believe speed-wise they're also pretty decent. You can only recruit one of them though, which that's pretty dark. Maggie, because yeah, the way the slots work. 25 strength, 20 skill, 60 HP, 14 speed. Berserker. Give this man a killer axe, and he will erase anything. Everything is dead. So we'll just pretend Idun is him, and put him, like, technically be domestic abuse. Technically. But I mean, for this unit, for these stats, where did I put Randy? I'm gonna put him above Randy, that's it. Well, yeah, that's terrible. The only thing that's bad about him is the fact he instead comes with an halberd. That's it. Now, what's the other one? Rose. I think Rose is maybe worse. No. Actually, Rose could technically be better. Yes, I believe. Like, is it just one less? Yeah, just one less skill. 14 speed. Yeah, honestly, I might argue that Rose is the better counterpart, stat-wise, because one more strength versus... actually... Yeah, Rose is better because you get the Devil Axe. No questions asked, Devil Axe. That just instantly invalidates the argument. But yeah, I think overall, it's a little... One speed versus one skill. How much better is one strength over one speed? I think it's... I'm just going to put them the same. They're basically... They're interchangeable. You could recruit either, honestly. Not one of them is better than the other. Actually, I believe one of them is, because growth-wise, but I don't remember the growths because I don't have the growth doc, and I'm not going to find it right now. I'm so close to being done. Oh yeah, Joloro. I forgot I was on him. Advantage. S-rank axes. Oh, Sagoon? I didn't see that earlier. Sorry. Yeah, Sagoon is good. The growth doc. Who needs growths when you have these bases? That is a very good point. Like, the growths only really matter. Yeah, I made one, though. I made one, and I was very proud of it. Fair. Let me see if I can open up FE Builder. You'll also get a sweet teaser. To the new FE boss recruitment remake. FE6 boss recruitment. Sorry, I don't want an update right now. All right. Characters. Oh yeah, one of the funniest things as well is you know all those, like, in Sakai route, all of those guys who just have Monkey's portrait? They all do have unique growths. Okay, yeah, pretty normal. Okay, yeah, pretty normal. Ignore the portrait change. Pretty normal. Pretty normal. No, yeah, nothing. What? Also, he has a personal weapon that's like 120 range that has like 20 might as well. So yeah, if you're gonna recruit one of these guys, you know which one to recruit. Anyways, what was I doing? Let me find the man, the myth, the legend. What's his name? Jolaro. Okay, Jolaro. Least broken self-insert. I mean, honestly, he's not that amazing because they don't have that good stats, I mean. So, it's like, okay, yeah, he gets a busted weapon. But stat-wise, he's like... I need to check the weapon real quick. This might change it. If it has the brave effect, then yeah, he is the most broken self-insert. Least self-broken insert. Okay, weapons. I'll never be able to find the weapons. Item icons? No. God, this is quite the challenge. This is more of a challenge than the actual tier list. Okay, well, item out. How did I miss that? That's the third option. Where is the bow? Was it removed? Did it get removed? Did we accidentally remove it too soon? Oh no, there it is. There it is. Oh, sorry. I got the might wrong. 12 power, still good. 95 hit, will always hit. 30 uses, range 22. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, there's like 4 errors that Archer just left in, and and they basically just boil down to, for some reason, I don't know why, he put the entire like character dialogue in just item descriptions. It's not breaking the game or doing anything. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. I assume he was experimenting or something, but it's just weird. What did he do? How did he do this? Why and how did he do this? Why? Why would you put entire Fire Emblem FE6 character dialogue in this? Yeah, it also has higher. I don't know how. It's wacky. Quite the wacky weapon. Also, it makes him... I don't know whether that makes the res growth pointless or not. I mean, yeah, it does, because at that point... Why? Why? 0 critical. He did have some self-restraint. Anyways, yeah, Zephyr Lock. Did have some self-restraint. Okay, characters. No, back to drill. Back to the tier list. Gotta go back to the tier list. Back to the... back to the 50-year-long search for finding his growths. I'm just gonna find it real quick. I made specifically a growth doc to specifically make my life easier. I need to use it. Okay. Discord. Growths. The growth sheet. There. Who is this man? Alright. Yeah, I don't think they are affected by weapon boost, so... Nice. Oh, wait, they don't have Skolin! How could they not have Skolin? They have reports, but not Skolin? Truly a disappointment to this random tier list I found by googling FE6 boss tier list. He has worse bases than Gonzalez, which is the unit he comes with, and even worse bases than the other random dudes who he comes with. Genius. Amazing. 10 out of 10 ploy, which is why he also has good growths. 115 HP kinda doesn't matter. 105 strength. Will always level up strength. So, if you can somehow use this, 95 res. If you can somehow use it, yeah, and 85 speed. 85 speed. So he's got good speed, good strength, good res, everything else. Good luck for that 5 res and 5... No, sorry, I mean 5 luck, 5 defense level ups. So, I wouldn't know where to rank him. He's probably like C or D tier. But if you're able to use him, Berserker promotion, doubles everything, 1 hit kills everything, literally made of paper, definition of a glass cannon. I don't know where to rank him, so thank God he's not on this tier list. Oh wait, yeah, I have this. I don't need this anymore. Woo! Okay. Oh yeah, Roberts. Sorry, 85, and he also has a 30% luck growth. Got that wrong. Guro, finally. 65 HP, 35 strength, 20 skill, 20 speed, 15 defense, 5 res, 15 luck? Yeah. Overall... Oh god, I exited the page! No! What have I done? Okay, thank god. Stat-wise, he's fine. You get him, like, Chapter 12X. He has, I think, around the same stats as Scott, and I think Scott has maybe better gross? 85, 50... Yeah, I'd consider him having better gross. I think more reliable strength level ups are better than just a little bit in everything. That's it, really. Also, like, speed growth's better as well, so it's like, yeah, Scott's probably better, and you get him... Let me... I gotta recheck real quick. Still not terrible, still decent as a unit. Oh, you get him... Yeah, you get him early, a little pretty decently early. Out of, like, the Gaiden chapter bosses you can recruit, he's definitely one of the worst, because why not Henning? True, he does have that availability, but it's like... he's still... That's why I'm still putting in B tier. Like... Because, like, if you're really bad, or just I don't think you're, like, good at all, I'm gonna just put you in C tier. And he still does show up early. He does show up early, and he does have that Berserker class. And also S-Rank Axe. S-Rank Axes is nice. And A-Rank, actually, never mind, like, pretty much all of the Berserkers you can recruit have A-Rank Axes because they all have the Killer Axe. Besides, actually, that might make... No, it wouldn't. Never mind. I was arguing about Maggie and Rose again in my head because I was like... I thought for a second one of them had a Killer Axe, but no, one of them has a Devil Axe, which probably has about the same weapon rank as a Halberdier. Anyways, Igoon! Finally! Okay. She's good, but she's super light. And I think Kel is better in the niche that actually I don't know. I don't know. By the way, this tier list isn't like that organized by rank. Like the A tier is ish. B tier, no, it's just random spots where I'm just like, okay, this character can go here, I guess. C tier is more organized. But yeah, I think overall, having much better stats is a lot better than late game than just being able to say, oh yeah, I can fly. Like, let me compare their stats better, actually. Like, maybe I'm insane and I just don't know. Oh wait, I'm also forgetting. You don't have to do Sakai route. Why am I comparing these two units? I have no reason to compare these two units. Yeah, like just place-wise. Well, I guess I kind of do. It's weird. Yeah, she is pretty fast. 14 defense, 52 HP, that's like every single unit. That's pretty tanky because every single unit has high HP. Oh yeah, she has 7 con! Jesus, why does she have con so low? How much does she get weighed down? Honestly, I tip on the table blew through legitimate means. Great. Where is it? What? Okay, there it is. Oh yeah, this is the only way to get the spear. So yeah, that's a reason to do it. 10 weight. Actually, that's not. That weighs it down by 3, but that's still 19 speed, which is still pretty fast. Late game, like there's this is pretty late game, so yeah, there might be a couple units. I do think Kel, if you can get through Sakai route, Kel ends up being better. But she's still pretty good because she can rescue pretty much anybody. Everyone loves rescuing. And good stats overall. 20 strength is still good. 22 speed is still good. 7 con, yeah, that does, I think. Spears weighs her down by 3, but I don't think it's big enough. Killer lances might be the issue, though. How much does a killer lance weigh? Like, if the killer lance weighs her down by like 5. Oh no, but it's one less. Okay, then yeah, I think she's still. I think the weighing down thing isn't that big of an issue. Slater. At least probably better than Rude. Probably. Yeah, I mean, you're never giving steel lances to any of these guys either. Besides the generals. The generals are probably like maybe the only guys who can get away with using a steel lance. But no, they're not, because skill. Only 50% hit. That's not happening. Steel lances are terrible in this game. There's no reason to use them when killer lances exist. The Slater. 13 strength. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oops. Do these guys basically have the same stats? Wow, that's a that's a little surprising. I thought Slater was gonna have, I don't know, at least a little more, like, I don't know, a little more strength or something. Only 1 luck, 1 defense. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah, no, I think Slater is slightly better. Let me just exit this out. 1 less tab. Yeah, he gets 5% more strength. Rude, meanwhile, gets 15 luck. Growth-wise, like, Slater's barely better. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's better than Rude, but not by much. I think it's just because he technically does come with better stats. 1 more defense. Actually, I don't know. That means the enemy. That's. Ooh. He's better. Just because of growths. That's all I'm gonna say. Tick! Woo! Sword rank generals! Whoopee! He has E rank in swords! Yeah, baby! He does. That's all there is to say about it. I forgot he was a general. So, he might be better than Rorts because of that. Because he shows up early. Actually, so he shows up, like, basically the same time. 1 more chapter, and then, yeah, you get him. Well, I sure love seeing Khan. It probably doesn't matter. 24 strength, good. 13 speed, as good as you can ask for a general. 20 defense, I feel like he should have a little higher defense, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't judge. Like, how much? Let me compare his stats with Douglas. Actually, I am interested. How does he shore up to the legend? Yeah, he definitely is better, but you get him later. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you're never gonna use like you having A rank swords in this is like yeah. I heard it. I also have heard that like it was some like I don't know. It was some like there's another theory that because he has the same portrait as Wraith that they just pretty much copied and pasted him, changed his stats or something, or that maybe Tech also was planned to be a general. I mean, not a general, a paladin at one point. There's like some theory with the coronation between Wraith and Tick because they both use the same portrait. They both both have swords. That's the closest like coronation on why like that. But it is also possible that they plan to give general swords at one point. Overall, though, like, where did I put him? Where did he go? Where is he? He's probably in a fine position. Oh, he's at the very top. Yeah, he's. I'm gonna put him at like the bottom-ish of. Wait, where did I put? Oh, okay. I'm gonna put him like below that. Yeah, fair. Just for the sword rank alone. Just for sword rank. Wait. This isn't Nord. You fool! You're actually a mid-tier unit. Nord's who you should be. Okay. Well, I already talked about him earlier. Decent all around. Good speed. Only issue is Dark Magic is actually a little sus in FE6 with the hit rates. That summarizes in a nutshell. Also, Nosferatu doesn't weigh him down. I think it actually weighs the same. It might weigh like 2 more. Either way, it doesn't weigh him down, and it has the exact same hit rate as Flux. So that's cool. Him. I'm not even gonna try and remember his name. That's too hard. Yeah, Gonzalez Abuser, where are you? Where's the Gonzalez Abuser? Wait, no, that was Nord. Wait, no, wait. What? Oh, Wagner. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. Martel? What about Martel? What about Martel? FE6. Who's Martel again? We're right about to be on Martel. Wait. Oh, wait. I might have also confused Martel with somebody. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, because it was like Oro. Wait. Yeah, that's Windhelm. He's fine. He has like what's it called? God, what's it called? Purge, which means he has A rank in light magic. He's fine. I think he has C rank in staves because he doesn't come with a stave. Windhelm Windhelm is different because he has a stave. It's a stave you hate, but he has a stave. He has Berserk. Anyway, back to the legend Nord. Really high magic. Never mind, not as high as I remembered. Yeah, all of these bishops are brothers, which is why I am making a FE6 boss recruitment remake, and I do plan, and by remake I mean it's just going to add supports, it changes the chapter dialogue to make some of the bosses more complex, a bunch of other stuff, and we do plan on changing some of the portraits. Not all of them, it's just ones that are like, reused to the point where, who is this man? Is this guy Oro? Wait, no, he's Windhelm? Oh, so yeah, we plan on changing some of them. We plan on changing Nord. We're gonna change some of the Berserker bosses, because there's 4 of them. Technically 5, because one of them gets used in a cutscene. So yeah.
we don't plan to change the ones that we aren't really necessary, like ones that you can, like if it's only used twice, we probably aren't going to change it. It depends, really. Anyways, well, wait, yeah, that's later. Nord. Gotta stop getting distracted. 9 skill. Ugh. Ugh. As I said earlier, dark magic is a little sus in this game. So, that not being the best is, later on, I believe is an issue. Yeah, we're thinking about it. Nord. 30 skill. That's not good enough for having 9 skill and dark magic having... what actually is the specific hit rate? I think it's like something like 7. I'm gonna not use this one. Flux. FE6. Doesn't matter. Yeah, 70% hit rate. Yeah, it is light. Which makes it, like, kinda good. Like, it is just straight up better Flux, I believe. Like, I think even, like, hit rate, it has the same hit rate. I'm really trying hard not to misspell Nosferatu. Okay. Like, exact stats, let me find it. Yeah, same hit rate, 2 more might. Only real disadvantage, 2 less uses. I think this is probably the best game for, like, Nosferatu, at least if it was, anybody could actually use dark magic well, which Wagner can use it decently. So he is a solid option. Nord, though, Nord's a little more... I have used Wagner twice, I believe. Nord I haven't, but I just have a feeling he's kinda not gonna be the best with hit rate if you get a little unlucky. Speed also, he's not gonna double, so I do think he's worse than, like, Wagner, because he just has more, like, I think, what is Nord's base magic again as well? I should stop comparing units, it's not really necessary. Wagner? Yeah, he is surprisingly fast. He is. He's like a very... Like, if he was probably a mage, he'd be better. Honestly. He'd be like... I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this sentence, but yeah. He's good. That's all there is to say. Yeah. Busted. Like, let me see it. Yeah, 45 speed. And then 50 magic. Only disadvantage, 10 defense. But I mean, it isn't really that hard to just not have him get hit. Just don't put him on the front line. It's that easy. There's no issue. As I said, only issue with Wagner, it's little shaky hit rates later on in the game. Early game, it's not that big of an issue. Mid-game, still not that big of an issue. Nord, I think, has that issue in the mid-game, and potentially later game. And speed, he doesn't get the speed. He doesn't have defense. It's pretty much just... worse Wagner. We have Wagner at home. Zinc. Ooh, okay, he's pretty damn bad. There is literally no reason to recruit him not over just Morgan. He has so much worse stats than Morgan, and you get him 1 chapter later. And the sad thing is, I think Morgan even has better growths, arguably. 13 strength, 10 skill, 7 speed, 6 luck, 17 defense, 7 res, 15 con. I think these stats are like Legance stats. And you get Legance like not insanely more early, but still decently earlier. Yeah, exactly. There's like when I first looked at him, I was like, when I'm balance wise, because I'm also like a couple of these bosses I am trying to like buff and nerf, and like I looked at Legance and I looked at Zinc and I was like, how is he so much worse than Morgan? 18 strength versus 13 strength. 13 skill versus 10 skill. 11 speed, 7 speed. I think he is worse in every step besides 1 con. It's so sad. Okay, correction. Let me look. There is one advantage. There's one notable advantage Zinc does have over Morgan, and that's a Silver Lance. He can use killer lances over killer axes, which you can argue which one you prefer because killer axes have lower hit rate over killer lances, but if they crit, it's better. But it's not really. Yeah. Overall, let me go back to the growths. God, this is going to take me 12 years to find. I think it's spelled differently. Yeah, it's spelled Zinc weirdly. Yeah, he has 45 defense and 45 strength. Everything else is... How could they massacre my boy? And then, like, he has 45 strength. Yeah, like, Zinc does have better growths in the way that he does have 45% defense instead of Morgan's 25 defense, but it's like, that's it. Everything else is kind of negligible. Okay. Everything else kind of doesn't really matter that much. Same strength growth. So, it's, final unit. Finally! The end of the tier list. What's his name again? Oh, shit. Oh, God. I don't remember his name. Oh, God. What is his name? Martel. Whew, thank God. Okay, I don't have to search for more. Martel! Let's go! I do really like Martel's character as well. No, I'm too brilliant to die. Giga chat. I mean, he does kind of have the same character as Oro, but just later. But he's more crazy, so I like him better. The only reason I can remember Oro is because Oro is just literally 3 letters. Wait, no, this isn't the guy. Oh God, wait, no, wait. I accidentally got them switched again. Who's the crazy guy? Crazy guy who's in the Gaiden chapter. God, no. How have I done this again? Martel's like I don't yeah, okay, where is he? This is the guy, right? This is the guy I want to stab in the chest. I want to stab all of these bishops in the chest now. Okay, come on. Please, I don't want to be here any longer. Let me out. Okay. Is it? Wait, no, that can't... Wait, is he... Wait, no, wait, was it Windhelm? Yeah, it was, that... This makes everything so confusing. Okay. I'm just going to assume those two bishops are fine. I didn't accidentally rank one... Wait. Oro, why did you say... I'm so confused. Okay. I'm going to assume that I did not incorrectly rank those two bishops, and that they are in the correct position. Yeah, Oro does exist indeed. Anyways, Windham. Windleham. Everyone forgets Windham. Fair. Yeah, he's good. Reasoning, Berserk Stav, A rank staves. Do you get him earlier than do you actually get him earlier than Nime? Because if so, this just makes him like, hey, here's earlier Nime. Here is the earlier Nime. If so, then I have to compare Nime's stats with him, because it's like, you get like another guy who can use fucking that staves. If you use the warp stav to warp into Windham, then not only do you get a warp user, you get a free berserk staff. Amazing. Okay, yeah, like Nime is... Yeah, Nime is just better. But, except defense-wise. Defense-wise, yeah, Nime is a literal paper bag floating in the wind. Windhelm, at least, is a little bulkier, and also inventory-wise, if you're able to somehow get the Berserk Stav, then it's cool. But as a unit, he's probably like B tier. Also, S rank light magic starts off with it. It's not like you have like Oro, who probably at this point already has it S ranked. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention, for like the earlier Gaiden chapters, they do have the fact that them starting off with an S rank in their legendary weapon is a lot better than the later ones, because like at the later point, you probably have a unit who has S rank and can just use it. But yeah, thank you for watching my tier list. It was very fun ranking all of these characters. I hope you all have a very good night and a very good day. I guess subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want. I'm probably not going to upload videos at a very reasonable pace, aka at all. But it's possible. I am thinking of doing another FE6 Iron Man, FE6 boss recruitment Iron Man. I need to get that correct. Remember to mention it. If I do, I did do one in the past, but that didn't work well. I forgot to give Marcus the silver. I forgot to the next episode of the series that is now privated. The first one's still up. Second one isn't, though. I bought Marcus equipment, and then in my infinite big brain, giga brain strategy, I instantly went into the next chapter forgetting to give Marcus the other equipment, so he came in with a 5U Silver Lance. Marcus got surrounded. I got absolutely obliterated. Anyway, have a very good day. See you in 16 years or more.